joined other focal countries to launch a national campaign as part of global campaign to tackle the unfair global food system and start a worldwide movement for a world where everyone always has enough to eat. The campaign tackles 4 major interlinked issues to secure a fairer future for the growing global population, particularly for the world's poorest communities and for the millions of women who depend on agriculture. Issues of food price volatility, land grabs and climate change adaptation. Grow, the new global campaign initiated by Oxfam, was launched in more than 40 countries throughout the world. In Ghana, the GROW campaign identified 3 main key areas, which were investment in small-scale agriculture development and food security, promoting land rights for women and other small-scale farmers, and building resilience and adaptive capacities of rural farmers.
Looking at the context of Ghana at the time, we realized that about 5% of our citizens were food insecure. Someone would say 5% is small or insignificant, but as Oxfam, we believe that every life matters. And so even if one person is hungry, we should be concerned about the person.
The campaign members, particularly the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Civil Society Coalition on Land, Africa Center for Energy Policy, Send Ghana, Friends of the Nation, Wildaf Ghana and Ghana Trade and Livelihoods Coalition have made good progress over the past years, contributing to major public debates around investment in small-scale agriculture and food security through the development and use of the shadow budget, tracking of investment for small-scale agric development, Oil for Agric initiative, among others.
In Oxfam, are happy to be part of this initiative. An initiative that is poised to achieve multiple objectives. First and foremost, by equipping citizens, farmers, to make elections guarantee and deliver their basic needs and services.
The Oil for Agric petition, for instance, was widely circulated and successfully mobilized over 20,000 signatures from small-scale farmers from over 300 farming and fishing communities in 30 districts across Ghana.
Whereas the government is getting money from the oil session, we decide to plead with the government to help us to get some money to finance us to buy, so that we will be able to use it for our machinery like a tractor, combine harvester, threshing machine and others.
Now I'm a saka time there. Oh, you're now over 2 1. About doing some should be obviously then you could mom call to Gafana mobile farmer. No, so I'd rather 100 period of Abraham. It's the Mahan or Abraham. No, I'm sure Masaka.
We wish to encourage the government to prioritize support for the smallholder farming in the next medium-term prioritization of the oil revenue allocation to ensure 1. Improve seed, 2. Improve extension service delivery, access to credit, access to market, and small-scale agro-processing.
We thank you very much for your tolerance. Now, when we reiterate, I think everything that is in, we'll study it carefully and then see how we can help with the recommendations you've made.
The interest was too high that we couldn't reach all the farmers. So there were radio activities in all those communities to actually discuss about the issue and call for the farmers to be involved to ensure that whatever is presented to the President and Parliament is the view of the farmers.
Approximately 19,000 electronic sign-ups from the public, mainly through the social media, with Facebook accounting for over 18,300. Beyond this, the campaign reached more than 5 million Ghanaians through regional forums, radio, television, and online.
So what we did was to engage in a multi-pronged approach, looking at how to raise people from the bottom up to impress on government, to use revenues to finance agriculture. We saw a jump from about 13 million Ghana cedis to 136 million Ghana cedis, which was quite significant.
A quick post-budget review and analysis of the 2014 budget and economic policy statement of the government of Ghana showed that infrastructure and agriculture sectors have received more attention. A total of 226.3 million Ghana cedis was allocated from the mainstream budget for the agriculture sector. About 214.9 million Ghana cedis of this allocation, representing 94.5%, is to be spent on what is described as poverty-focused agriculture, an indication of major improvement over the total budgeted expenditure for the agriculture sector, which was 184.0 million cedis in 2013. Oil for Agric is increasingly becoming an international brand and being cited in international conferences and campaigns.
Talked about Malaysia, talked about Indonesia and Brazil, who invested strategically their resource revenues into pro-poor sectors and began seeing quicker returns on investment. So that research actually became the background to the campaign.
We've been able to contribute various budget inputs, and then of course in discussions that would make budget advocacy and budget literacy more kind of open to our small-scale farmers.
Send Ghana and other GROW campaign members have continuously engaged small-scale farmers, officials of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, at the districts and traditional authorities to dialogue on access to subsidized fertilizer.
Engage the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as well as the Parliamentary Select Committee on Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs to bring the challenges confronting women farmers, and we have discussed with them how to address this gender inequality that exists in access to extension, in access to tractor services and other pro government intervention programs in the agri sector.
SICOL, as part of activities under the GROW campaign, stepped in when small-scale farmers at Ofada in the central region of Ghana lost their farmlands through commercial land acquisition, popularly known as land grab. Over the past years, more than 700 chiefs and queen mothers have been sensitized to chart a new path that will ensure proper land governance for small-scale producers. Women continue to be at the center of what we do at Oxfam, and the GROW campaign in Ghana collaborates with various partners to mark international days to raise issues of the small-scale woman farmer. This was the World Rural Women's Day at Garu Timpani in the Upper East region of Ghana. Being the first time to celebrate the day with the rural women, the district and our local partner were so grateful for creating such a platform for the women. WILDAF Ghana, a member of the GROW campaign, has led in raising issues on national media platforms during the celebration of such days. Various campaign members have appeared on different shows and programs to continuously stress the need to invest responsibly in small-scale women producers.
We have realized that many emphasis have not been focused on the rural woman, but they play a critical role in national development.
Who does the sowing? Who takes care of the plants? Who does the harvesting? So the chunk of the work is done by women.
They work harder on the farm, more than the men, from my experience, from what I have observed.
Talking about gender, talking about International Women's Day, talking about empowering women, it's very important that we really do some very serious gender targeting.
These policies contain beautiful things, but the issue is when you ask rural women, do you know about this? Do you know about that? They have no knowledge about it.
If a woman goes to seek land, acres and acres of land, the first thing they are thinking about is where is she going to get the money to pay me?
Women would have access once they are members of a particular family that have land, tilt the land, but he does not have any rights with regards to transfer, with regards to mortgage, with regards to alienation. In most places, the women are even given marginalized lands that are not productive, very productive. They actually invest to make the land more productive. The landowner realizes that, oh, there's potential in this land. The next season, the woman loses.
They don't want to accept that a woman is equally entitled to the resources that are there.
That when we empower women, we empower humanity. If we are able to quantify the amount of work that goes into care delivered by women, and we say that this is the real value of the economy.
Small-scale women farmers from Amasaman in the Greater Accra region were given a platform to interact with parliamentary select committees on food, agriculture, cocoa affairs and gender to share their challenges and the needed support to boost their production. After all the phases of the GROW campaign, we share key lessons we have learned to propel the campaign to the next level.
When we started this campaign, first, civil society capacity to be able to understand and engage was quite limited. Over the years, we'll be able to strengthen civil society organizations, particularly farmer-based organizations like the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. That has built its confidence and championing a lot of engagements and mobilization around issues around agriculture, to the extent that they are invited into critical platforms that define the agriculture development agenda in this country.
The GROW campaign hopes to sustain the gains, maintain and strengthen the issue-based relationships and alliances across groups and all stakeholders to ensure that Ghana's growth supports poverty reduction among small-scale women and men farmers.
We are going to make a follow-up to ensure that the amount that is allocated to the subsidized program actually go in there. If it doesn't go in there, then we'll get explanation from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to tell us where they put the money in. So we are not actually going to fold our hands and sit down.
The campaign members are poised to achieve multiple objectives. Firstly, by equipping small-scale farmers, civil society and the Ghanaian citizen to proactively influence policymakers in government, guarantee and deliver pro-poor national agriculture budget that will leverage resources to investing in small-scale producers, especially women.
What we need to do is to be able to track this kind of investment that is going into the sector, to make sure that they are not only using it as a bypass, into people's pocket, into corruption and mismanagement, but we also want to make sure that project selection, value for money in all these projects are monitored and checked by civil society.
We are going to involve ourselves training small-scale farmers and other agricultural producers and workers in how to ensure that the manual that we have developed becomes a tool to influencing district-level budgets.
Additionally, the campaign will increase spaces for enhanced accountability and political commitment to guarantee land tenure security for women and other small-scale farmers in the face of land grabbing.
Nanano should start documenting, at least if it's not that, big document with big English. Just state that this person under this day is receiving this parcel of land for this use
until this end.
The GROW campaign will further strengthen capacity and forge new alliances to inform and mobilize citizens and constituencies to maintain pressure on policy makers to invest in women and men small-scale farmers.
What we do is to find out what projects government intends to fund using the petroleum revenue that goes into the national budget and how it will have effect on small-scale farmers, majority of whom are women, and how it has a larger impact on poverty reduction.
For the rural women in Ghana, the needs are endless.
Oh yeah, this I guess I'm a your bread. This is as I was the scanner on in there, Maserpi, on my hair some ban, yes, and Kabi.
The old system, you should only work for your husband, and after the end of the harvest, he buy you a cloth or give you some of the money. It is necessary that a woman should own a land.
For all these reasons and more, GROW is so urgent, so timely, and so important. If we can bring about food justice, we can bring about social justice.